And welcome back to Empower Half Hour. We're having a fantastic time. We have an honorable guest with us, Dr. John Demartini. Thank you for being with us. And I was very excited and interested in hearing some of the challenges you've gone through, and I just want to explore that a bit further. You know, in your life, what are the kind of challenges you've faced, and how have you overcome them, just so that we can pick up some lessons for our viewers?
Well, some I've mentioned. My challenge when I was born with my feet and arm altered, and my learning problems, and then nearly dying when I was 17, and then trying to make it back in school. Those are challenges. But from that point on, I started to accelerate. And the biggest challenges I faced then was just getting everything done and balancing out my life and trying to get it all done and juggle everything, which I think most people have to face. And so, you know, I later developed and have beautiful children and a wife, and the management of time became my biggest challenge. How do I get everything that I would love to get done and still get the other responsibilities of life taken care of? And I had to learn for myself how to prioritize and how to ask for help and how to delegate. And it was very challenging because sometimes I thought I was the only one that could do it, and I was trying to do everything at once, and I was overwhelming myself. And then the other times, if I would delegate, I wouldn't get the people. I had an unconscious motive not to get somebody who could do a better job than me. So I would undermine that, and it was a long journey of trying to find the right people to assist me that would be inspired to do what I needed to delegate, and be willing to ask for help and feel humbled enough to let other people do their expertise to assist me in doing what I would love to do and what I'm good at. And it's been challenging. I mean, and also the time management. I have so many things I want to do in my life. How do I get all that done? And how do I prioritize things and organize things? And I was told at a very young age that if you want to get something done, give it to a busy person, right? And so I knew that if I keep my day filled with high priority things, it doesn't fill up with low priority things. There's a law called Parkinson's law, and that law basically says that if you fill your day with things that inspire you, of the highest priorities, and fill it up completely, you won't have unexpected low priority distractions come into your life as much, and you'll get way more done, and you'll grow your self-worth, and you'll feel more fulfilled, and you'll be more inspired, and you're directing your life. I was also told when I was 4 years old by Mrs. Grubbs, who lived next door, who saw me pulling weeds out of a garden. She said, if you don't plant flowers in the garden of your mind, you're going to forever pull weeds. So you have to put into your mind what is truly most inspiring to you, what's meaningful to you. And if you do, and you target that and concentrate on it and work towards that, you won't fill up with so many challenges in life. So time management has been one, balancing out family and balancing out all the areas of my life. I think that many people can relate to that, and I think I certainly had my challenges in that area, and I've had to learn to time manage. And I've been blessed to be able to delegate and surround myself with people that can help me do it. Today I research, write, travel, and teach. And maybe I can share one last thing. I learned from a lady named Mary Kay, who had a company called Mary Kay Cosmetics, who I asked one day at a big conference I was speaking at with her. I said, what advice could you give a young, inspiring speaker who wants to travel the world and speak? And she said, every day write down the 6 or 7 highest priority action steps you could do that day that is most meaningful, that will help you fulfill your purpose in life, and write them down, and then go and do it. At the end of the day, thank yourself, and just accumulate days after days of doing that. And then after a while, look at what was the most common threads of all the things that were priorities, and then focus on that and see if you can't delegate everything else away so you can live the most inspired life. I followed her advice, and today I pretty well do exactly that. I research, I write, I travel, I teach. I've delegated everything away. I mean, I don't drive, I don't cook, I don't do anything anymore other than what I'm inspired by. And I didn't start out that way. I just kept following the principles that lead to success.
This is like, I think what you've just said now in the last few minutes is like so much. I mean, I could just copy and paste your life into mine, because I like the idea of delegating and, you know, not cooking and that kind of stuff. But there's something interesting you said of it earlier, was seeking help from others and that collaboration with others, because very often as people growing up, we kind of think we know it all, we want to do it all, and like you said, you get overwhelmed by doing too many things, you can't organize your life, and you know, in terms of getting help from other people, did you find that quite a difficult task to actually seek help, to ask for help, because it does call for humility, doesn't it?
Yes. One thing that really helped me, I read a book called The Time Trap by Alec McKinsey, and when I finished that book, I was going, there was a day before that book and a day after that book. Because I learned by a guy named Tremendous Jones that you're the person today, and tomorrow you'll be the same person, except by the people you meet and the books that you read. And so I read this book, Alec McKinsey's Time Trap, and I realized, I just saw my life in it. I just saw, my God, that's me. All the pitfalls I was having and stopping me from growing was I couldn't learn to ask for help. And I learned one little principle. If I help other people get what they want to get in life, I get what I want to get in life. So I got to find somebody that by me delegating to them, it helps them get what they want. And so they're inspired to do what I would love to delegate. And when I do that, everybody wins. And we grow the economy. And we grow in so many different ways. And you're allowed to do what is most inspiring to yourself by doing that. So yeah, it was a struggle to do that. Sometimes our ego steps in, and sometimes we think we need to do it, and we got to be patient to learn how to delegate and to give them the opportunity to learn and to do it the way they uniquely do it. And honor that as long as it's done, that's what matters. It's not matter how it's done, it's just does it get done. And sometimes, yeah, I blocked myself many times, and it was a going step forward and a step back and 2 steps forward and a step back, that kind of thing. But if you have a dream, and the dream has got a big enough why behind it, when you have a big enough why, the house take care of themselves.
I just want to ask you one more question before we wrap up, because you said so much even earlier when you were speaking to Mabato and Andrew about confidence and believing in yourself. And I get a really great sense and aura about you, that you're very confident that when you make up your mind to do something, you're going to do it. You even said at one point, regardless of yourself. You know, how does one grow in confidence from day to overcome these challenges?
Well, everybody lives by a set of priorities, a set of values in life, things that are most important to least important. Now, these values aren't necessarily the things that most people think are just morals and ethics. These are just things that people really value, that they really want to fulfill in their life and complete. And when you live according to your highest values and set goals and intentions and objectives that are congruent with the highest value, that align with the truly highest value, you will walk your talk. You will achieve. You'll be disciplined. You'll be reliable. You'll be inspired from within. You'll be called from within to do it. And when you do, because you achieve and you don't let yourself down in an area, you build confidence. Your confidence is directly proportionate to the congruence between what is truly highest on your value and the goals and intentions that you set. And the second you set real goals, that's why the Delphic Oracle said, know thyself, be thyself. When you set real goals that are really aligned to the real highest values, you don't let yourself down. You're willing to endure pain and pleasure in the pursuit of something great. And when you do, you start becoming affirmative, and you start to believe in yourself, and you start to set even bigger goals. And so there's no limit on that. The more congruent we are, the bigger our life becomes. And the more we awaken a cause bigger than ourselves, the greater the contribution we make from ourselves.
That's awesome. I really think you've said so many inspiring things in this episode, and we really want to thank you from Empower Half Hour for all that you've said. We've learned so much. I mean, I'm leaving this place with a lot of confidence. Guys, you've heard it. Dr. John Demartini has said so much today. Now, the real thing about it is this. It's one thing to hear what we've said, listen to what we've said. If you don't put things into action, really nothing's going to come of your life. And so we want to encourage everybody who's watching out there to take hold of your own life, to gain that confidence, that belief that you can do what you set out to do. And remember, in fact, you said something very interesting just now about values. We're going to explore that in a couple of episodes' time. And hopefully we'll invite you back to talk about values and that. So great stuff, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to join us same time next week, right here on Soweto TV. This is the Empower Half Hour signing out.